Montana.
Yeah.
He's here. Oh, Chief Montana, we're so delighted to have you join us. We know you're a very busy man in these streets.
Yeah, a little bit.
We needed you out here, man. We going through it. They out here trying to kill us, Chief.
Oh,
and yeah, they trying to kill us.
They just started?
Yes. Hold on. Quick video. Let's go live. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if everybody can see and hear me, just to make sure the connection is good, let me know that you can see and hear me, and just, say hello or something like that, because we just had the connection go in and out. But today, yes, I do have the great Chief Montana with us, and we're going to talk about not only the fact that they are trying to kill us out here, they've actually been successful with it, The cancer epidemic is real. And speaking of epidemics, they want to have y'all think about AIDS a lot in Atlanta, but I'm like, look, I don't know a lot of folks with AIDS. I don't know if I know one, but I know a whole lot of them. A lot of people with diabetes and that have actually died from cancer. So we have a lot of plagues in society right now, and we're actually very vulnerable and susceptible. So I was like, we need to do something about this. We two health conscious people. You're very health conscious. We believe in having full total health, mind, body, spirit. So we have a mind, body, spirit detox and community-based cleanse for everybody. And that is the Indigenous Detox. So we're going to talk about the Indigenous Detox. And actually, I want to really kind of give Chief Montana a chance to tell us why we even need it. And this idea of a community-based cleanse, because I know you guys have had cleanses before. You've probably done a detox. But this one is going to be a lot different, and it is going to have 5 phases, and I'm going to break down what the phases are. But just kind of let's talk about why we even need a community-based cleanse and what's going to be different about this Indigenous Detox.
Well, the reason we need a community-based cleanse is actually a few reasons. I just thought of something that was very good, but I'll say that in a second. So we need one because, as we walk around and you're not cleansed mentally, physically, and spiritually, you're actually like a virus. And so everybody you come in contact with, you will infect them with that virus, either through your words, through your energy, or just your way of being. Like when you in a space, because when you walk into a room, you should walk in there as a spiritual space yourself. Period. And then that room should become your being. Period. And so a lot of times we do that, but we run on automatic. If we're angry and we walk into a room, the room becomes angry because that energy. And so we do that, and we're not conscious that we're doing it. But when you walk in as a spiritual space, regardless of what's in that room, you walk in as a clearing and you clear that out. But it's difficult to do that when you're backed up and you're clogged mentally, spiritually, and physically.
That's
it's very, very difficult to do that.
I'm gonna jump in right there. You actually said something, because it was talking about signs of self-poisoning in Chapter 5, The Keys to Good Health, in an intro to breaking soul ties and wound cleansing. Dr. Levert is a naturopathic doctor, and he contributed to Chapter 5. But here is signs of self-poisoning. If you experience any of the following symptoms, you may be experiencing auto-intoxication. This is a process whereby you are poisoned by substances produced by your own body as a result of inadequate digestion and elimination, and therefore you might want to consider a systematic detoxification cleansing program. When you don't cleanse and detoxify your body periodically, you circulate poisons and toxins throughout the body over and over again. So that's self-poisoning. A few of those things is allergies, bad breath, constipation, general aches and pains that migrate from place to place. Low energy, lower back pain, needing to sleep for a long time is very real. Premenstrual syndrome, PMS, skin problems, rashes. It's a lot of different things that are actually indicative of a body that is suffering from self-poisoning. So that's the first step, is to eliminate the poisons in our body so that we won't be so blocked, because we're blocked. We're blocked, honey, and we can't do nothing. We can't even absorb the minerals and these herbs and all this stuff, because we blocked. We can't hear what you're trying to say and get what the ancestors trying to say, because we blocked here. It's you see the correlation, as within, sort of without. What were you going to say about that?
So, one of the things I was thinking about is, like, we need to force a tipping point. And so I'll break down a tipping point. A tipping point is when something comes to the apex of change. And if we want to cleanse the community, no matter how we want to do it, all we need is 30% of the population to commit an action, and the other 70% will follow suit. It's really that simple. It's like the way that we view each other as men and women. We didn't always have that view. Right. But the moment 30% of men, 30% of women adopted that view, then the majority of the other 70% also adopted that view. Mm-hmm. And so that was the tipping point for us to be where we are today as a community, as a culture. And so we need to force a tipping point, meaning that we need to take deliberate actions as a community in order for the whole community to be healthy and to be healed. So it doesn't take everybody being on the same page. Right. 30%, that's a very small number. Right.
And we don't need everybody to get on this program, you know. Right. What I'm interested in is really decreasing the numbers of people's posts that I'm seeing every other day, somebody dying from cancer. I ain't even seeing HIV/AIDS, to be honest with you guys. And the reason I keep going back to that is because they keep throwing that propaganda out there. And we have so many other real life plagues. We have people with high blood pressure. We have women that are suffering. I don't know the real numbers. They say we don't know the numbers of AIDS and all this type of stuff. But I know the numbers for hysterectomies. And it's 600,000 hysterectomies being performed in the U.S. every year. Mm-hmm. And 78% are on black women. Not 58, not 68. That's 78. So those are some real numbers. And so as a result of being clogged, as a result of having so much filth and not having a place for it to go, I'm really tired of that. So what I'd like to do is to have a community-based cleanse, because I know our community is actually being targeted. Okay, they have targeted you. We're in the middle of a medical apartheid, and this is nothing new. This is nothing new for us. So for the first phase, we have 5 phases to this. In the first phase, we're going to focus on actually pulling out the blockages, because everything begins and ends in the colon. Every sickness and disease begins here, and we have to start here. So phase 1 is going to be about liver and digestive system, and we're going to have a lot of different herbs sent to your home. So the good thing about this community-based program, you're not going to be doing it by yourself. That's for one. A lot of people try to do overhauls and big lifestyle changes and doing it as an individual. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't really work. Right. And something we've learned is that we're tribal people trying to do things as individuals, and that doesn't work for us. So first, we're going to have Kwame Vaughn of House of Imhotep. He's going to send you your herbs. And then we're going to have my mother herself, the master herbalist Joyce Cathy. She's going to be a 24-hour support system for people that are doing this cleanse. Because again, we're talking about connectivity and about the effectiveness of a program. It's people that actually have support systems in place. So my mom is going to actually help out. All those questions y'all got, my mom ain't scared about no illness, no disease, because she can take it. Mm-hmm. Act like you calling me right now and you got some issues going on in your body. Okay, ring, ring, ring.
Mama Kathy.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, I've been having some problems.
Oh, I like that. Some problems. Tell me about these problems.
Well, I mean, I'm a little ashamed, kind of embarrassed a little bit, but you know, like I haven't been having like full bowel movements.
Oh, I like that.
Really, I mean, I just have maybe once or twice a week, and then it's not much.
Also, you a black man. Oh, I like y'all. Y'all my favorite. You know what? I got some for that. She just laughs at everything. Like, oh, that ain't nothing. You can say, you know, I got HIV/AIDS. They told me I had bursitis. Oh, bursitis, AIDS. Honey, I got some for that. She don't care. So that's the thing about my mother. You know, you can come to her with anything. I'm going to get you guys, you know, she'll be in direct contact with you because I'll put you guys together. But I'm telling you, you can tell her you blocked up, got fibroids, everything wrong with you. She's okay, well, tell me, oh, we got some fibroids today. Oh, I like that. And I've become that way too. I done got like that on the phone. I'm like, ooh, I like my little fibroids, ladies. Ooh, because we know what to do because it's nothing to us. But for everybody else, when they give you a diagnosis, it's, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. All of that. When it's nothing. It's nothing. And you need to be in touch with actual healers that can approach this wellness plan with that same type of confidence, okay? Phase 2, and I was going to talk about really quick on phase 1. I know we have it for liver and digestive, but we're going to have that yellow dock root, and we have the 15-day colon cleanse. That's a part of that, and that's important, okay? If you don't have your colon cleanse and your liver cleanse on point, all the inflammation-based illnesses will stay there, period. Okay, so I have the turmeric. This is very, very simple to get. You can get it anywhere, but for those of you that want pure quality trusted herbs, go to House of Imhotep, okay? Some of the uses of that yellow dock, I talked about how it dissolves fibroids and even tumors and cysts. It's used for swollen glands, acne, constipation, fibroids, as I said, gallbladder, and people that have intestinal issues, okay? It's a good liver tonic. So phase 2, really quick, guys, it's the blood detoxification, the purification, and also parasite cleanse. Parasites are real. What you know about parasites, Chief?
I know a little something about them. Some good and some bad.
Well, you know, a lot of people don't think they're carrying parasites, and this is also an excerpt in the book. But it says, contrary to popular belief, parasites are not restricted to our colon alone, but can be found in any other part of the body, in the lungs, in your muscles, and in joints, and the esophagus, the brain, the blood, and the skin, and even the eyes, okay? Parasites are actually the missing diagnosis in the genesis of many chronic health problems, including diseases of the gastrointestinal tract and endocrine system. So most individuals would be truly amazed if they knew the extraordinarily high number of Americans who are unknowingly infected by parasites. One way you can tell you have parasites is a lack of energy is one of the most common complaints. When people have lack of energy, imagine something that's attached itself to your body and just draining you of all of your nutrients. And that's what that is. A lot of us have intestinal parasites. We have them all over. We've been exposed. If you are alive and you eat fruits and vegetables, you're around animals, it's airborne parasites. So everyone has them, and they're even in our tap water. Parasitic cleanses are so important. If you're not parasitic cleanses, I don't care if you got an Instagram tea girl and you got all this type of stuff. If you're not addressing parasites, you're not addressing real autoimmune diseases. You still got allergies because you haven't dealt with the parasites, and we haven't dealt with blood purification. So another one that we're going to have in phase 2 is black seed oil. Go ahead, jump in.
So, and this is another way you can tell if you have parasites. I learned this years
Please tell us.
If you feel, or if it occurs to you, you may not even know it, but ask your friends. But if you have like an insatiable sweet tooth,
that's it.
9 times out of 10,
yeah,
you got
that's it.
Parasites.
I actually got that right here. It says symptoms of parasites, and it says hyperactivity, candida, reoccurring candida and yeast infections, and sugar cravings. You see, I got it underlined. Sugar cravings. That's how you know. Everybody in the now right now, I ain't got no parasites. They said it was a third world thing. When I was learning about this when I was 12, 13 years old, my mom used to tell us, like, they tell you that it's a third world thing, but parasites are not only to third world countries. You have parasites, okay? But what we're going to do is get that black seed oil. Okay.
I just had a thought.
We have, what was your thought? I'm finna tell them these herbs we're going to get for these little critters too.
I almost
Go ahead.
said, and some of y'all are parasites.
Ooh.
But anyway, that's
But
what
they
I'm
are though. They are. As the within, so the without.
Right.
This is a mind, body, spirit cleanse. And we have to be real about how this shows up. The herbs for this, we're going to send to your home again. For each phase, you have the herb shipped to your home. So shout out to House of Imhotep. We have the black seed oil, which cures everything except for death. Honey, I actually, look, I be carrying my black seed oil around with me. And I said to myself today, I said, you know, I got to carry this black seed oil today, or else I'll miss a great opportunity. But this black seed oil is not a lot of it that you need, but it's extremely inexpensive. I have this. I have the blessed thistle, burdock root, bitter melon, and ginger powder. Okay, ginger powder is almost like Raid for roaches. You know, parasites do not like ginger, and they do not like black seed oil, honey, okay? So those are going to be some of the herbs that we're going to ship to you. The bitter melon is another one. That's a new product that we have at House of Imhotep. You're going to love what it does. Also, we have black seed oil. I like it because it takes care of high blood pressure, skin and intestinal funguses too, parasite infestation as we're talking about, sinus issues. It's a good liver detox as well, and for HIV and cancer treatment, okay? this right here. All right, so if you can imagine, like from just phase 1 and phase 2, we talking about the liver and digestive, which already the benefits of that are going to be increased energy. You're going to lose weight because you're losing waste. I always tell my people that on my detox programs, that's going to be a natural benefit. It's going to be a heightened energy, but you're also going to lose weight because you're going to be losing waste, okay? Undigested fecal matter and all of the water retention that we have too. We have a lot of recipes that are geared toward liver and digestive cleanse, as well as the blood purification recipes and foods as well that we'll have on there. What were you going to say about those critters? Were you going to say something, parasites or something?
No. Actually, I wasn't. I was just thinking about something that that Dr. Levert would always say when I would sit with him, and he would always talk about your plumbing. He said if anybody's toilet got backed up with feces, they would spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to get that handled.
Ooh.
But when we get backed up with feces, we don't even want to rub 2 nickels together to make 10 cents to pay for a simple remedy.
Yes.
To flush out our colon.
Flushing. And that's good. The flushing part, I always love this because if you can imagine using a toilet for like 20 years without enough water to flush it and never flushing a toilet after 20 years, that's what your body is like if you don't have a good systematic flush and if you don't drink enough water.
Right.
That's what your body is like. It is a toilet being used without being flushed. Can you imagine? That's your body. No wonder we got fibroids, eczema, all kind of poisons and toxins backing up. Y'all know this stuff is foul. These are toxins, real toxins, okay? And so when they're backed up and have nowhere to go, we have a manifestation of illnesses, all like the yin-yang, rheumatoid, inflammation, all types of stuff. But it's inflammation-based illnesses. And we know disease begins where? Right here. And if this is backed up, disease is everywhere. Okay, phase 3, just really quickly, it's going to be about weight loss, fat burning, fat flushing, and fitness. Okay, y'all may not know this, but Chief Montana, this is a 50-year-old man right here. Okay, and he real ripped up. He ripped up and he works out, and he's going to make sure that I get me some good fitness tips too. So he's going to offer some good fitness tips as well. And I'm also going to have flaxseed, raw cacao that helps you boost your metabolism. Garcinia powder I have for you guys, kelp powder, as well as spirulina. Okay, so those are going to be some of the healing herbs that you'll get there. Garcinia is good. Garcinia powder is good for weight loss. It's good for exercise performance, increasing your exercise performance. It's good for increasing your metabolism. It's good for joint pain and even burning fat. So we're going to have really good herbs specifically for you burning fat and flushing fat out of your system and good weight loss. But we can't get there until we get the colon clean. So that's why I like to start off there. All right. What you said? We need to hear this more. My mom, she said we need to hear this more often than not. Yes. And Mom, as I told them, no ailments or illnesses scare you, and you're going to be a part of the program. I'm so glad that we have people that are that qualified that can be able to support you along the way. We're also going to have those weekly calls to check in too, to see how you're incorporating these herbs into your everyday life and your diet. So I have really in front of me here just some basic ingredients that can keep you healthy, keep you out the doctor's office. This right here can reverse disease. We see this every day, but if you don't know how to use it, that's where we fail. Basic things. We can make a detox water. Children will even love this. When you make it interactive, when you make it attractive for people, and this goes for elderly people too that are in hospice care, people are attracted to stimulating and things that are aesthetically pleasing. So when you make it easy on the eye, it's even easy on the palate, and people reach for it. Once these strawberries are cut up and it sits overnight in a glass or pitcher, it becomes sweet like an organic fruit juice. So we're going to have just basic things like this for you, recipes and even little tips that you guys are going to be able to share with each other in this community-based cleanse, okay? So the last part that I'm going to tell you about is phase 4. That's the STD detox and womb cleansing part and womb health. It's going to be the hibiscus tea, camu powder. We have nettle leaf. That's very good. Raspberry leaf, as well as sarsaparilla and marjoram. Okay, marjoram is a spice that we can use in our food. It's good for men and women. It's good for their testosterone. It's good for sinuses, colds, all that kind of stuff. So I got all this herb knowledge. I feel like an herb nerd.
You are.
Have I thrown it all up?
Yeah.
But we need it. I'm like, we're not going into 2019 failing. We're not. I'm tired of it. And we can get all of this together and you can have your body clean. But what about them soul ties dripping off us? What about these generational curses and this spiritual unrest that we have? What about the depression, the anxiety, the people that we still hold grudges towards? So let's talk about phase 5, the final phase, which is the spiritual detox. So I'll let Chief Montana tell you guys a little bit about that, and I'll get out of you guys' hair because we both are excited about this indigenous detox.
Yeah, so the 5th phase, or the final phase, is the 5th phase, and this is just as important as the 1st phase, 2nd phase, 3rd phase, and 4th phase. And so it's like the last piece, like the home run. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that plagues us that we don't understand, but from a indigenous or traditional African perspective, is that we walk around with debt. Mm. And every partner we've been with, we've collected their debt. Mm. And you know what the shocker is?
Okay.
Your partner has collected your debt. Mm. So it's not a one-way street. And debt, I'll just break it down really simply. Debt is actually an accumulation of all your transgressions. That's basically what it is in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. Everything from your abortions to all your sexual partners, when you walk around and like you hate people, your envy, your jealousy, all of that stuff accumulates.
Wow.
And when you have a partner, I don't care if it's your husband, it's your wife, your boyfriend, whomever, your girlfriend, whomever it is, wow, it doesn't matter. Or just somebody you just kicking it with. Mm-hmm. You have passed on your debt to them, and they pass on their debt to you. And it weighs on you like a weight. And we don't understand how much pressure that is on us, because as human beings, our bodies are incredible.
Yeah.
Because we can adjust to anything.
Yeah.
And we have no clue how bad we feel until we feel good. Mm-hmm. We walk around and be like, oh, I feel great. Because we've adapted to it. We've adjusted to it. Yeah. It's no different than, someone who has gone off to war, and you see him and they miss the arm and both legs, and they can laugh and smile, because what has happened is over time their bodies have adapted to it. They've adjusted to whatever tragedy has occurred. Mm-hmm. So at that point they're fine. If in their minds they're fully functional. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we need to do is we need to cleanse all of that debt. Yeah. I don't care if you're male, I don't care if you're female, I don't care if you're 60 years old, I don't care if you're 120, I don't care if you're 18. The only people who probably don't have debt, if you're walking around and you're a virgin, you don't have no debt. Mm-hmm. And we know that mass majority of the people, especially in the West, lose their virginity in their teens. Right. Period. I think it's really high. I forgot the number. But so we need to cleanse all of that out. Mm-hmm. But during the process, during this entire process, one of the most important things and like the greatest gift that you can give yourself is patience. Mm. Because we didn't get this way overnight. Right. So it's not going to be cured or remedied overnight. Exactly. It takes time. That's right. In order to get that stuff out of the way. And so you have to be patient with yourself and patient with other people. Mm. And do yourself a favor and give yourself some grace and mercy. Wow. I mean, that's very important that you give yourself that, because everyone on this journey will progress at a different rate. Right. Nobody's going to progress at the same rate. Unfortunately, it's great if everybody did, but it's not going to happen that way. But I'm going to get back to what happens to us from a spiritual perspective. But when you've had this specific type of cleanse that cleanses your debt, no one can make you a virgin again. Mm-hmm. It's just not possible. But basically, it's like pressing the reset button and taking you back to the state that you were in from a spiritual perspective before you lost your virginity. That's basically what it is. I've done. We need this. I've done this cleanse before. Several of my students have done the cleanse before, and they get remarkable results. Yes. And I don't generally tell people, oh, expect this, expect whatever you get.
Yeah,
that's the most important thing, but you will get something in the entire process.
Yeah, this is going to be great. And it's also 6 weeks, and we said being patient with ourselves. We're just going to have a long amount of time, you know, to offer this type of support. And I'm glad that this is different from any of my other detox programs I've ever done. The other one I have that's probably a long time is my 21-day hormone reset program, where we're focused specifically on the female reproductive system, healing fibroids and all of that hormone balance again. But that's 21 days, but this one is a full 6 weeks. Okay, and I'm really excited about that. And again, we've got, you know, myself, you know, Chief Montana, and my mother, who's a fantastic, you know, health coach. She's a life coach. She's a motivator. She all of that. And also those weekly calls are going to be so important. Because it's going to be a lot of changes that your body goes through, and also spiritual changes. Expect that. And you're going to need to connect with somebody. The Womb Sisters already know about this type of structure with the APs, the accountability partner. This will be similar. Okay, and you'll have a lot more support. I can't stress that enough. Support, support, support. When I tell you my mom is ready on the double, she's going to be right there with you. Okay, and so will I, and we'll have those weekly calls, and you'll have a community. And so we'll be able to give you those recipes that we're going to share with you. You'll be able to get your herbs shipped, and we have a full 6 weeks process. So I'll share the links for the Indigenous Detox, and we have actually at a nice special right now. So don't do that new year, new me, and wait to sign up for the new year. If you sign up now, it's going to be at a discounted price, but it's going to go up 25% after the new year. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I'll make sure I'll get you guys the link, and it's limited. Also, we want to make sure this can be for 20 men and women. That's another thing too, because I believe in quality control, and I believe in everybody having a very personalized experience in this, and that means more success for the people on the program. It's not really about quantity, it's about quality. We want only, just you said, those 30%. I just want those small group of people that can change their health, change their lifestyle, and if you do, you're going to share that information with everybody else. When mama sign up, the whole house signs up, actually. When mama makes this one pitcher of detox water, everybody in the house gets it. So we're returning you to your natural roots as a healer. As a healer, around the clock, and seeing what you're eating and supporting you and making sure that you're accountable for that. So if you guys want to sign up, it is limited to 20 men and women total. Okay?
And I just want to add one more thing in regards to like this entire process. When you get to phase 5, one of the things that's so important to the spiritual cleanse is that there are many of us, and that includes me, who have had abortions. And when you have an abortion, that child clings to the mother and the father, because that child only knows the mother and the father as their parents. So if you've had 3 abortions, that's 3 children clinging to you, and they cling. The best way I can describe it when I see it is, you know, when a child runs up to, you know, an adult and they just squeeze the thigh, and then you see the adult be walking and the child. That's how it looks.
Hanging on.
And they'll hang on, and they won't go anywhere because they only know you as the mother. They only know you as the father. So they don't just cling to the mother; they cling to the father also. And the greatest gift that you can give that child is not your tears. Is to send that child home. That is the greatest gift that you can give that you can give that child. And a lot of times we cry, we feel something around like that anniversary of that abortion or whatever. That's because that child really starts to show up.
You know, I'm starting to think, and I see now that even the issues a marriage may have is because of those soul ties, those things like that. They went off and had new children and everything, and the girlfriend they had an abortion with in high school, they don't think that that's now causing discontent in the marriage. And that's what I'm hearing you say, basically, by putting the 2 and 2 together.
Because a lot of times we get into relationships, and this is not every instance, because there's some other things that may be going on also. But you're trying your best to have your relationship work, to have your marriage work. And guess what's standing in between you, not physically, but I mean literally, are those children.
Wow. So
when you're hugging, you're not hugging your mate. It's like a stack of children between you and your mate, and you can never touch them. You can never hold them, because all of that is in between you. It's like if you have young children,
Wow.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when the parents hug and
She
all
says
those
it's the
children
same with
come,
miscarriage. Yes, it is.
yeah, same, yeah, absolutely, the same miscarriage. And those children come and they hold on to the parents. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, you know, sometimes I know my niece and nephews used to do this. Like when I would, you know, hug my ex-wife or something like that, they would run in between us just to be joking and playing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like that. They get in between the parents. So you can never have an intimate relationship with them.
Because this is good, and a lot of people need this. So what's the step? So I know for step and phases 1 through 4, we're sending the herbs. So what can they expect? Okay, for phase 5. So what does that include? I know you'll have the divination, and so that'll be the wound healing and the wound ritual and everything. So I know a lot of this is new for you guys, but he's gonna exactly tell you what you can expect also when you guys sign up for it, and we'll have the link and everything. But for you that those of you that don't know Chief Montana's work, go to chiefmontana.com so you can sign up for a divination. And actually, that was a really good card in the book too, because we were talking about cleansing, and right at the end, the benefits and all the things about cleansing, it goes right into divinations. And it said divinations are at the cornerstone of all African spiritual systems, and no spiritual work is ever done prior to divination. And this is discovered the spiritual cause of an issue. So you have to start there. And so a lot of people that are listening to this right now is like, whoa, this is maybe resonating with you. Get a divination. That's kind of like that doctor's appointment, you know, that initial sign up, the consultation, and even a physical, so to speak, to see what's happening and what's going on. But a divination is definitely the start of getting that diagnosis, spiritual diagnosis, to see what's happening. So that's a good start there too. So for those of you that are only interested in phase 5, that's fine. If you're like, yo, I got my herbs, girl, I'm good, 1 through 4, my liver, my blood, I ain't got no you can, this is how it's comprehensive. You can do phases 1 or 5, 2 and 3. It's up to you. But even if you want to just do 5, you can do phase 5 alone if you want to focus on your spiritual. We don't try to force any of this down your throat. You can pick and choose what you feel you need and what's financially feasible for you.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because we want this to be effective for you. And if you're going into any type of financial debt, that doesn't help you in the long run. So we have it in such a way that everybody can benefit. In each of these phases, you'll come away having so much. But obviously, if you do everything, you're going to get a full, total body, mind, spirit detox. And some people need that. And so we wanted to make sure we would have something like that available for you. Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this and then I'm going to talk about the process real quick. Something pops in my mind. Even women and men who have, quote unquote, gotten their lives together, they've gotten married, they want to have children, and they can't. They've gone to every single specialist you can imagine, and they all say the same thing. Well, you're perfectly healthy. You know, your uterus is functioning, or tell the man, like, your sperm count is fine, and you can't figure out why. Wow. You cannot conceive. Consider that the reason you can't conceive is because of those abortions. Yeah. Because your ancestors could be, they could be upset with you. It doesn't mean they won't do work for you. They'll just be upset because there may be a specific child that you're supposed to bring into this world, and then you sent that child back. Right. Because that child is supposed to do something or impact the world globally or be great, and you sent that child back.
What about interrupting the creation process, like when people get hysterectomies, or even when they shut it down and get vasectomies, and they don't know that there's a implication behind that? What would you say, just really quickly? Because I had a guy ask me that the other day, and I have women ask me that all the time, and it's like, interrupting the creation process, there are some serious physical, emotional, and spiritual repercussions of that. And I don't want to get into this, I'm going to stop having children with some natural birth control. Not doing that with my black people today. That's another day. And we don't even have the type of nutrients in our bodies to even be that regular, to be able to get that on point. So that's why I don't go there with us on that topic. And it's a deeper topic we need to talk about this childbirth and stuff like that. We're scared as hell, we broke as hell, and we don't even want to procreate anymore. Right. Okay. So I don't want to take too much longer on that, because I know I don't know if my battery is kind of going dead or whatever, but I just want to make sure. My battery probably ain't even going dead, but I'm paranoid. I want to make sure. I want to make sure that it is right, you know? Okay. And I want to tie it up. Let's tie it up. Let me try and
get this out in 30 seconds or less. The implications of having a hysterectomy. or having a vasectomy is that anytime you have any kind of surgery and you remove something, you cut something, your star actually becomes weak.
Star? What's a star?
So, your star is like the best way I can say it really quick. The only thing we have equivalent in the West to a star is a guardian angel. However, your star is about 1,000 times greater than a guardian angel.
That's
and
a
you're
good
born
way to
with the
put
star.
that.
So
I just had to ask for the people that don't know. What's a star?
Yeah.
My star is weak. What?
Yeah, so you can say guardian angel, but really it's not.
And so hysterectomies, people that have had things pulled out of their bodies.
It weakens your star. Now, the implications for having a hysterectomy. Now, I'm not saying if you had some medical condition, it was life or death. That's a totally different conversation. But there's still an impact. But that's, take yourself out of this. If you had a hysterectomy, tubes tied, vasectomy voluntarily, and you are supposed to bring a child into this world, you're violating your contract.
Right.
Because you agreed before you came here to bring those children. And those children, I've had so many people come and have divinations. I can see those children, I call it standing at the gate. It's literally like a gate. And they're standing there waiting for their parents to conceive.
Well, we have a cap.
So
Black folks got a cap nowadays.
Right.
Western society has a cap now.
Yeah.
And it's this unconscious, you can't have no more. And then we have the financial burden. Well, we couldn't even have a lot of children. And then we have the programming to where we don't even want to have a lot of children. And that's I think that's actually the real violation of all, it's actually the way we've been programmed is to not even desire procreation when we shouldn't even have any qualms about that. What she said would be
don't matter.
It
doesn't matter if you're gay or straight. It doesn't matter. I've had students go with me to Ghana who are, I was about to call it the letters, but I always get confused. LBG, whatever.
LGBT?
Yeah, Q.
It's a Q in there.
Yeah, that.
LGBTQ.
Yeah, LGBTQ. And sat there with the elders. Not just one, but multiple elders told them the same thing. As, why aren't you a mother? And they said, because I just didn't have children. They said, no, why aren't you a mother?
Right.
Well, because I don't like men, I like women. You're supposed to be a mother.
That's it. And that's what I wanted to say to them.
You came into this lifetime to be a mother, so you have to have children.
That's it. And they not looking at it as you're bad. You see what I'm saying? That's why I was telling them. I was trying to say in the video the other day about the ABCs of LGBTQ. I'm like, from an indigenous perspective, when you talk to elders, they don't do all of that fire and brimstone. You about to go to hell. I'm like, they look at it with creation, eyes of creation and nature. Just nature. Right. Children, childbirth, why ain't you a mom? They didn't say blah, 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 you bad or wrong. None of that. And that's what I like about, so people that are African-centered, there's no room. And that's what's different from me. Don't call me no hotep, because I'm not one of them hoteps that be like, that's about hating gay and LGBTQ people. No, I hate white supremacy, and I hate that they've used that as an arm of white supremacy. Now, there's a difference, and I don't like using the sexuality in front of our solidarity or nationality. That is the problem, okay? So that's what I wanted to say about that, and I'm glad you touched on that, because we're inclusive. The elders, this is your family.
Now, I'll be clear, like, they mentally, like, they don't understand that. Like, they don't understand same-sex relationships because they don't deal with that at all. So mentally, like, they'll look like, they just can't conceptualize that. They don't look at it as bad or wrong. It's just something that I can see that they wrestle with that. Like, wow, how does that happen? But they'll tell you, if you're supposed to bring children in this world, they'll tell you that, like, that is your charge. Yeah. That is your mission. Yeah. And you need to fulfill that.
And we need to get serious about that even more. Whether you're hetero, homo, it doesn't matter. Like, Black people bringing children into this earth is the greatest threat. And your sexuality, your dick, your vagina, your genitals, it has been the greatest threat. Your womb, there's a war on your womb. There's a war on the Black family, the creation. So once you get rid of the womb, you get rid of the world. So that's why it's the greatest threat. So I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm
excited.
Not
gonna tell them the process real quick.
Go tell your process. Tied up in a cute little bow.
Really quick. So phase 5, the process is at first there's a divination that needs to be done. And so for this, it's going to be such a large group. 20 people is large, relatively speaking.
Right.
That I'm going to have multiple elders actually perform that task, because I wouldn't even attempt to do all those people within a short period of time. So the process is going to be, you're going to have a divination. My elders will do the divination. They'll do their part, and then they will perform the ritual. They'll send you the divination results, and then they'll perform the ritual. And then once they perform the ritual, then the products are mailed to you.
Perfect.
And then you get the products. 10 times out of 10, you have to bathe in herbs for 7 days. And over that 7-day period, you cannot take a bath at all. However, I work out all the time. I cycle. I go to the gym. And when I'm bathing in herbs, I promise you, I do not get funky in the least. I don't know what it is about those herbs, but I do not. I promise you. I do not smell one single bit at all. Period. Those
like that ancestral juice is going on.
Yeah, those herbs are very
coming
magical.
out your pores.
Mm-hmm.
Ancestral juice.
So that's the process. Really
Perfect.
How that works.
Well, y'all should be good and clean going into 2019, because this is all inclusive. It's going to be mind, body, spirit detox. And so if you want to sign up, it's for 20 people. I'll leave the link. Thank you guys for joining me. I cannot wait for y'all to get into my mama, the master herbalist. She's going to help you every step of the way. And we're going to have this community-based cleanse. So if you have any questions about this, holler at me and we will make sure you get signed up. Talk to you guys soon.
Peace.